Yo, what is up? We're back. We're gonna see if we can't get this tranny pan leak fixed. And I believe that I have found out how to adjust the shift linkage on the side of the transmission so that we can finally get our manual second and third, or second and first. Turns out it's been there all along. It wasn't blatantly obvious when you look at it, but on that shift linkage, there's a little white clip in there. You poke that clip out or pry it out with like a flathead and kind of just, it's just a locking clip. You pull it out and then you have somebody shift the lever a couple times and it works the cable back and forth. And then you'll push it, which mine, I looked at mine after I read it and mine's like out about this much. And the couple videos I watched, they took all that out and they were doing the same thing I was doing. They couldn't get second or first. They moved that end to where it was like all the way pulled in and put the clip back in it, and they got second and first. So might be able to kill two birds with one stone today. Not real sure, but we're sure gonna try. Let's go over what we picked up. Went ahead and got another tranny pan. Reading into it, I remember us thinking that the transmission pan bolts were loose. I think I found like 2 or 3 of them that were like finger tight, and then the other ones were like there was nothing there, and I was like, oh, that ain't right. So I remember we took the old Newalla impact and just kind of went, you know, ran them in. Well, I found out the transmission pan bolts are only supposed to have 8 foot-pounds of torque on them. And if y'all are any bit familiar with torque specs, 8 foot-pounds is like nothing. That's like barely more than hand tight. So that's probably most of our problem, and I think what happened there is all these pans have this real thin ridge, which is what touches the bottom of the transmission, and when you pull this bolt in too tight, it raises this spot, and creates a valley right here and lets fluid seep out. So pretty confident that's what my issue was. Also, I don't know what kind of gasket's on it, but I read that you want to use a cork gasket. So I took my happy broke ass to Amazon.com, and JK, I used the app, but anyways, found a deep 4L60 pan. I learned that if you're ever wondering, do I have the shallow pan or do I have the deep pan, like 99% of trucks and SUV 4L60s have the deep pan. The cars have the shallow pan. Other than just straight up this one being this deep and the car pan's only like this deep, another way to tell is truck pans have this ridge in them and have this corner knockout on them, and all the shallow pans are just like, they're pretty well smooth. There's no like indentions and steps in them. And then the main reason, besides my flange probably being warped on my pan, I got a pan with a drain plug in it. So, you know, in the future, you're about to see having to drain one without a drain plug, what it look like, and it's messy. I'm gonna try to do the corner trick where you loosen the bolts, but you kind of loosen them more on a corner, so it'll kind of leak out of the corner. And then I can try to delicately drop the pan down without spilling it all over myself, which is probably gonna happen. I'll have the camera rolling for that. But anyways, in the future, after I get this pan on, if I ever need to drain or, you know, just flush out my tranny fluid, I can just pull this bolt right here and boom, we won't have to make a big mess. That pan was 40 bucks on Amazon. The gasket I think was less than 10. I can't remember exactly. But I literally just searched 4L60 deep pan and deep pan gasket. Those came up. That's all there was to it. From what I read, if you drop the pan on a deep pan, you should need to put 5 to 6 quarts of fluid back in. I had a little bit left over. I thought I had more, but I only got about a quart in here. It's hard to see, but there's only about a quart in here, so I picked up another 5 quarts. I got 6 quarts. Let's hope that's what I need. If it's not, then won't be no shit. Leave it parked. I'll go pick up another quart or 2, top her off. We're good. So that's enough of that. let's get this thing jacked up on jack stands, since, you know, we had to go ahead and put the 5/8 drop on it. So, you know, everything you do, you got to put it up on jack stands because you can't fit under it. All right, boys, so we're looking at the driver's side here. There's your shift linkage. So on this style, there's this clip here pushes out this way. Well, I gotta remember how to do it, but okay, it's this side. So there's a little retainer right here. You pull that up with a flat, well, I might be able to do it with my fingers. You pull it up and pull the sleeve forward, which I can't seem to do holding the camera in my hand. Okay, I'm gonna get this manipulated forward. There's several videos on how to do this better that's a little bit more in detail, and they're using better quality cameras and stuff. But I'm gonna get this sleeve moved. So basically, you move this sleeve and then you pop this retainer clip. I'll push it that way, basically out. So see how you can see the skinny area here? This will actually go inside of this, and then we'll lock it back in place. So this is the slack that I need taken out to be able to go into second and first. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Like I said, there's several more detailed videos of how to do this, and it's kind of difficult to do with one hand, but like, yeah, you for sure got to slide this down, because you see this side of it here, well, it's halfway blocked by, this is like its retainer to keep it from backing out and popping out on you. So mine's pretty grimy, so I'm going to clean it up with some brake cleaner, pull it down, get it moved, adjusted, and then we'll go up top and see if we get all the way down into second and first. And if we do, then we'll move on to getting the pan switched out. Alright, so I already did it. My linkage popped off by barely breathing on it. Like I told y'all, mine's kind of, you can replace the little plastic bushings that are inside this deal. I haven't done that, obviously. But anyways, it was set on there like so, and I was trying to pull a tab on the transmission side. It's actually on the outside, and if you can pop it off without breaking, you don't have to, but it's easier to. This little pointy end right here, just kind of pull that up with a screwdriver, because it's got a little tab that goes into the linkage. Just pull that up and you slide this whole lock forward, which it's all the way forward right now. And then where you see this little clip hanging through right here where my thumb is, this piece, you push it through, which I think I've got it kind of kinked up now, but basically you push that clip through, and it's got like splines on it, and you can pull this linkage back and forth, and then you push it back in where it's at right now. Like right now it's locked, so you push it back to there to lock it. And as you can see, I've gotten rid of every bit of slack I can in there, because I've got a good feeling mine needs all of it took out. So I'm gonna get that bad boy back on there, and we're gonna go up top and see if I've unlocked second and first gear. We'll see. Alright, so we're in park. Reverse. Oh man, I was hoping it took all that slack out, but it didn't. So let's see, this is reverse. No, this is park. Reverse, neutral, drive, 3, 2. Can't get first, but I bet you I can do this. Yep. So I can manually push the shift linkage here to get it to do it. So park, reverse, neutral, drive, third, second. Can't get first. Alright, so I went ahead and took the shift linkage bracket off already. These are 13mm bolts, by the way. The strategy I'm going to try is the back side of the pan. I'm going to go ahead and take these bolts pretty much all the way out, or if not, you know, all the way out. And then slowly loosen the front half to where the pan will kind of drop towards the back like this. And I already have the truck only jacked up in the front, so the truck's already kind of tilted. Then I'm going to get the drain pan under here. It's gonna leak a lot. It's gonna get kind of messy. It just leaks along the whole edge of the pan. This is the reason people change these pans out, so they can get one with a drain bolt in it. But that's what we're gonna do. Let it, basically, you're not gonna get it to all drain out, but you'll get it to where it's, you know, below this lip, and then drop her down from there. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. I'm gonna have the drain pan under here. It's gonna be messy, and I don't really want my camera anywhere near that. So yeah, I'm gonna put the camera down, get it drained down, and then we'll get the gasket ready. And just not much to it, pretty much just setting the gasket up, making sure it's in the right way where the holes line up. And there's really only one way the gasket can go for all the bolt holes to line up, and then stick that sucker back up there, and that's all there is to it. Alright, so as you can see, we have made a wonderful mess, thanks to my theory of having the front of the truck jacked up and leaving the back on the ground. It allowed the fluid to run down the frame rails and get all over the effing place. But we got the pan off. I ain't gonna show you all the guts, but cleaned the magnet off, wiped it down. It had the typical break-in, like sludge shit from the clutches. I'm not concerned about that. I've seen way worse than that out of like 200-mile motors or transmissions, so I feel pretty good about that. It's fine. Like I said, it's not sparkly metal, it's breaking in of the clutches, so I ain't tripping. Clean the magnet off. The new pan didn't come with a magnet. I saw that in the reviews, but I just pulled the magnet out of my stock pan, and now I got a magnet in my pan. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna do all that shit. I'm jabbering. I'm about ADHD'd out right now. Like, I took the pan off, and now I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm over it. Where's the next new thing to do? But we're gonna finish it. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so finished up. Starting to wipe everything down, but this is the new pan. Everything went pretty smooth. I forgot the cork gasket, the holes for the bolts are actually a little bit smaller, so when you punch the bolt through it, the gasket holds it, so you can just punch it through and already have the bolts through the pan, and then just tighten them down like in a kind of a star cross pattern, go back and forth, you know, from different sides. And you'll see it kind of seems like it's not right, but you'll see the pan will kind of work its way up. But I will like stress to take your time, like go slowly, tighten each one up, and you'll see it, and then just kind of run your finger up here and you'll feel like the same uniform gap all the way around the pan. Then just kind of run them up snug, and then get your torque wrench out. 8 foot-pounds was a little bit more than I thought it would feel like, but I also have an old dinosaur torque wrench. Y'all have probably seen it before. The old Pittsburgh joint. but it worked. I actually slid the bracket that the shift linkage bolts to the pan with. It kind of has slots. I put it farther back, and that made this linkage a little bit tighter. So maybe I got first out of that. I don't know. I doubt it. But anyways, I'm done with the install of the pan. I'm gonna go ahead and get a rag and kind of just wipe down everywhere along the frame rails, because I know fluid's there and I'd rather not drive and just splatter it everywhere into the bottom of the truck. But so good, no leaks out of the pan. I went ahead and pulled it forward just in case it was leaking. I'd be able to see the drips, you know. It started right up. I let it idle for like about a minute. Went ahead and put it through gears, no clunk, nothing sounded weird. I went ahead and I put a quart, and then I put like another 2.5 quarts. So I put about 3 quarts in it before I even started it. I'm gonna let it sit here and idle for a minute, put her in neutral, check the dipstick a couple times, see where we're at cold, because y'all remember it takes forever to get some heat in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the parking brake on, put it in neutral, check it a bunch of times, get it to that cold fill, and then we'll probably go around the block a couple times, probably do a little burnout, you know what I'm talking about, and then once we get it up to temp, we'll bring it back here, check the dipstick again for the hot measurement, and then we should be good to go. Drive it probably like 2-3 miles, and we'll probably do like a little burnout, see if we can get it hot, and then take it back, put it in neutral, see if it's in the hot full, and then it should be good after that. I don't see why we'd need to do anything else. I'll probably jack it up tomorrow and see if it leaked any around the pan. If it didn't, then this one was a success and we're done. Got the 165. I probably drove like 3 miles, did that little burnout, just brought it back up here. So we'll check it. As long as it's in the hot hatches, we're done. All right, so I had to put like it wasn't quite at the hot full, and I put 1 quart in it, and it's like this far over the hot hatch lines. I'm not gonna drain it back out. I'm gonna leave it in there. Should be all right. But anyways, I'm gonna send y'all home with one more burnout, the one we did when we first put it together. It's starting to kind of fade, and we can't have no faded marks. We got to keep them fresh. So Tossie gonna help us out. . 'Cause 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 ' didn't seem right, did it?
No, that did not
like
seem right.
Someone right? Yeah, I kind of forgot, you know, when you check transmission fluid, you leave it neutral and you put the emergency brake on. And sometimes it kind of don't burn out right if you got the emergency brake set, so.
You don't say.
So I'm gonna sweep this out and we'll try that again. It should be much better with the parking brake not on. All right, this is take 2. Peace out, be human. We'll see y'all next time.